Hello everybody, in this video we are super dad car shopping with £100,000. Yes, that's right, we've got £100,000 to spend. I've got three options, what I think the three most exciting super dad cars you can buy for £300,000. And I keep saying we, but it's Tom here from the Wham Barn YouTube channel. You've got £100,000 to spend on a super dad car, haven't you?
I do, yeah. Perhaps foolishly, but here we are.
Yes, and this is off the back of recently. I came up and I did a garage tour with you, didn't I? I brought my family up and looked at your incredible collection. Absolutely, well.
There's one.
Yes, as you can see. But afterwards, we've been talking a little bit more, and you agree that there is actually room in the fleet for another type of car, a super dad car.
Yeah, definitely, because I've been thinking about replacing the Model X that we have. Or, in truth, my wife will start driving the X7 that we have, and then the Model X leaves a gap. But I would like something that is fun and not a Tesla to drive the kids around when necessary. And in particular, because I've got quite a few four-seaters, I would like something that is like a super dad car.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. And of course we know as well, if you don't know, you have got the hyper dad car on order as well.
Yes.
But the thing is with the Jumeirah, which I can't quite believe still that you've actually got a Jumeirah coming. But with that is still, even though it's a four-seater, it's still an A to A car. Like there's certain places that you won't be able to go with that if you've got the family and stuff and leave it and genuinely just forget that it's parked there and not worry about it.
100%. I mean, it's going to be multi-millions. But the other thing about it is it's going to be some time away. I would say it's going to be a minimum of 3 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they haven't even started production yet. And I didn't join the list until 100 plus in. Okay. So it's going to be some years.
Yes.
So I've got a gap to fill.
Wow, no, absolutely. Yeah. And the thing is, children, look, you're the same as me. You've got 4 young children. I've got 4 young children. And yeah, there's a lot of memories to be made in these coming 3 years. And all you need is £100,000, Tom. And I've got 3 different options for you.
Oh, I'm excited.
So do you want to hear number 1?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's get straight into number 1. It is the best car that I've ever driven. It is the dad car king, in my opinion. It's my dream car. And you could just literally go and buy one now if you wanted to. It is, of course, the Ferrari FF.
Oh, yes.
And in actual fact, for £100,000, I mean, you could get one and have some change. You could get one, put some money aside, so when the PTU fails, you could pay for because that'll cost 11 grand.
That's crazy though, isn't it? Like get a 4-seater Ferrari V12 for under £100,000.
Yeah. And this is the amazing thing, right, about dad cars is, I mean, when this was out at the same time as the Ferrari F12, this was more expensive than the F12. Yet these are now cheaper than the F12. Yeah, like, you know, F12, they're like, what, 120, 30, 40, that sort of money. But these are from 75,000 asking price. I mean, that is a high mile example there.
Yeah, what is that? Oh, it's got Novitec as well, that one.
Yeah, see, so this one here is high mile, 69,000 miles, which in Ferrari world, that's you can sort of times that by 4, can't you? Almost for like
the engine is imminently going to explode.
Well, yeah, and it's also it's weird. People get so funny about the resale value with Ferraris. Like if a Ferrari's got 25,000 miles on the clock, you know, the people are, oh yeah, that's like the equivalent of if you've got a Golf with 100,000 miles on the clock. It's like it's quite weird. They're really mileage sensitive, aren't they?
Isn't that crazy though? That like, what's the point in buying a car like that, especially a 4-seater GT family car or dad car? Why would you buy that and not put miles on it? It's just weird the way people see these things.
Completely. My theory is that with Ferraris like this and Purosangue and things like that, I don't know, maybe a lot of them are bought by people who were trying to get onto Ferrari's special list. You know, so you got to buy our 4-seater, you got to buy one of these, you got to buy one of those, and then we'll give you one of the special Ferrari allocations. So, and then maybe people just bought it and just didn't really use it. Yeah, I don't know.
The FF feels like a very different thing to like a California to me, though, where it is a genuinely cool and unique car and usable car. It ticks so many boxes. Just having a V12.
It's a true 4-seater. It's got 6.3 litre V12, 650 horsepower, 500 pound-feet of torque. It's like, you know, it's mega. It's mega. And for me, when I drove one on the right road, obviously I had my little one in the back, so I wasn't going too crazy. But it felt like an F12 when you wanted it to, you know? It didn't feel like, oh no, this is like the slower, less powerful one. Like the sound of it. is just exceptional. And we'll never get cars like this again because
No.
now you've got the Pure Sanguine. Now because you've got they're making like the super SUVs, and obviously it makes sense. They're going to sell more, aren't they? So, the last of the line is actually obviously the GT-C4 Lusso.
Yes.
And actually, you could get, I believe, a GT-C4 Lusso for 100,000.
Really?
But it's the V8.
But also, I'd imagine the GT-C4 Lusso sounds a lot worse than the FF because it'll have the more modern. Because like the 812 sounds worse than the F12, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, probably be a similar thing. And I imagine you like to have a little tickle of the exhaust systems,
Like to be
don't
a little
you?
bit raucous.
Yeah, and you can make these F12 sound even better if you like. You play around with things as well. But that's interesting though. So you actually owned an 812, didn't you?
I did. I wasn't a huge fan, and part of it was I think I got the wrong spec for me, but also the exhaust was not what I hoped, and it felt a little bit like it was on ice skates compared to competitors, even like the SVJ.
Okay.
I didn't really feel like I didn't feel like I trusted it even as much as an SVJ.
Did it feel like the systems were kind of different each time you drove it?
Yeah.
Like, did it kind of, because I've heard that from somebody else as well, that it was kind of like, the car was changing and saying each time you drive it, and so you never really feel like that connected to it
Yeah, it
yourself.
would kick off randomly. It would have error messages and stuff randomly that would then just disappear when you turned it off and on again, which I think is just a Ferrari thing. But then with my 458 Speciale, I've never had any issues like that. It's just been fine every time. So I don't know. It's maybe just something about the big front-engined car. Hopefully not a thing with the FF.
Look, I've not driven a GT-C4 Lusso, so I can't really sort of say 100%. But my understanding, my theory with the FF is that Ferrari made the FF to be like the best four-seat Ferrari. They made it for what they thought was the best. But then the feedback from people was saying, it's not quite as easy to live with. It's not quite as refined as what we'd want. Look, four-seat Ferrari. Can you make it a bit more like this? So I've heard from people that, with the Lusso, they made it more refined, more easy to live with. And for me, that's part of the appeal, it's a proper Ferrari, V12 Ferrari, but it's got 4 seats. You can take your family with you as well.
Yeah,
so that's why, for me, it's the FF. And to any GT-C4 Lusso owners watching this who are getting annoyed at that, your Ferrari is still a lot better than mine because I don't have one. So, but hopefully I'll get to drive a Lusso at some point.
Yeah, your
as well.
Lusso is a lot better than both of ours because neither of us have one.
No, exactly. And they're mega.
And
well.
they're super cool,
Yeah, incredible. Right, so we move on to option number 2.
Yes.
And this is a bit of a wild card. It's
Okay.
probably something that you just were not expecting at all, but just hear me out, okay? So option number 2 is a Rolls-Royce Ghost.
Oh, interesting.
Because, I mean, again, you wouldn't have to spend your £100,000. I mean, they're starting from like 50 something now.
Oh, wow.
Which is mad. So much car for the money. 6.6 litre V12. Obviously, you've got the suicide doors as well.
Yeah.
And the reason I've thrown this in, and look, so you'd actually be able to get like a really nice one. So look, they start here from 2011, wasn't it? And but as you go up, you should be able to get like a 2016 there.
Yeah.
But the reason I've thrown this in is because you've got 4 young children. If you've got one of these, you could put a 4-cross Multimac in the back of this. You could get it trimmed in matching Rolls-Royce leather that looks perfect match because the Multimac is actually trimmed and assembled by the same people who work on Rolls-Royces as well. So
you were saying this yesterday. That's crazy. Good job, what is it, Multimac?
Multimac, yeah.
Multimac, nice. I like that. So you can get it, and it's a very reasonable price as well. I don't know if we want to say it on here, but it is a genuinely very reasonable price to get this done.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. People see the price of it and they think it's a lot of money, but then actually if you divide it by 4, and then think that you can have children from birth in it right up until 12 and beyond. Like if you've got enough headroom, because you can use the actual seat belt and the ones on the end. But can you see the appeal there of having a special V12 that you could use with all of your family? So that is something that you could, you could have your wife on the side, you have all 4 kids in the back. That would be a pretty cool dad car to have. And talk about value for money as well. So it's got a full rear bench there.
Yeah.
Honestly, the widest Multimac would fit in there easily.
Yeah.
Your children would have loads of leg room. And also, we were saying as well that with these crazy cars that you've got, when you get in like the awesome BMW X7 that you've got, you appreciate that, don't you? Something you can float around in comfort.
Yeah.
And my argument is, right, I've not driven a Rolls-Royce yet, but I've driven a really nice Flying Spur Bentley. And the seating position is still quite high. And you've got that lovely floating, from riding around in comfort, the contrast from the other stuff that you've got. I don't think you need to go for a full-blown SUV. I think that would give you that contrast. As I say, something that you could take the whole family in. Yeah. And it's just a depreciated bargain, right?
It is. It's a total bargain. You never imagine that you could get a Rolls-Royce, especially one of... So was that a 2016? So it's 9 years old. What was the top of the line Rolls-Royce for under 100 grand? 94,000. So you probably get it for nearly 90.
And that's the asking price, yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? You could, I'm sure there'd be some wiggle room with some of these cars as well, particularly at the moment.
It's a lot of money, but really, when you think about what you're getting there, it's a mega thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Really special. Is that what we think of when we're looking for a super dad car? It's a mega car, but it's more like luxury dad car.
Yeah, look, yeah, it's true. This is true. Which brings on to what I think is going to probably be the one that you go for.
Okay.
Because we talked about this when I did the garage tour, didn't we? It's an Aston Martin Rapide AMR.
Ah.
Honestly, these cars, right? The Rapide in general, yeah, it's just super overlooked, super underappreciated. It's insane because even like the base model Rapide, when it came out, was like from 150 grand, and you can get one of the early ones now for like sub 30 grand.
That's mental, isn't it?
It's crazy. And then like the Rapide S, initially like the boosted the power up, I think it's like 550 horsepower from memory. I've reviewed one on the channel before. But then they made a facelift of the Rapide S where it's got the Touchtronic 3 gearbox, so the 8-speed, and they're just mega cars. The only other Aston Martin of the VH platform era that you got that gearbox in was in the Vanquish when they did a facelift of the Vanquish 2. So not even the DBS or the final DB9 GT, they didn't get that gearbox. Only the Rapide did. But I would buy an 8-speed Rapide S. That's what I'd buy because you can get them for about 50, 55 grand, something like that.
That's a bargain as well, isn't it?
But for you, I know you love the special. I know you love your carbon fibre.
I like a limited edition.
Oh, yeah. And this is just, honestly, for the money, because you can get these from £100,000. Okay, so yeah, look, the cheapest one on here is £104,995.
It's a lot of money, but when you consider this is a V12 Aston Martin special edition with a lot of the same DNA of what's in a GT12, which is a £300,000 car, going up.
So they made like twice as many of these.
As they did at the GT12.
But you love that GT12, right? That's such a mega car.
Yeah.
And
now I can carry the kids in it.
So imagine having that, but you can have the kids in the back as well.
I didn't even know this existed until you mentioned it.
Yeah, when I came up and did that original tour, and I said, "Do you know you should get a Rapide AMR?" And you were like, "I did an AMR Rapide." It was, and then since then we've been talking about it, right?
Yeah.
But like, it's insane the interior on these cars as well, right?
Yep.
Look, so it's obviously got the last revision of the waterfall dash there, but it's carbon fibre surround. So it's just like your GT12.
Yeah.
And then that carbon fibre surround goes right down the transmission tunnel for your rear occupants, for your children in the back. So they get to, I'll see if I can find a picture of the back. Why would you not take a picture of the back of the Rapide? Like that's what
I'm sure.
The back seats.
They're definitely are, maybe not on this one, but there was on the.
Yeah,
on
let's go to a different one so I can show you the back seats as well. I have to say, for me, getting one that's not black would be a personal preference.
Yeah.
It's a big car to keep clean, and silver would sort of just hide the more frequent use.
That there seems to be a lot of the ones that are online. It looks like 4 of the 6 are black. And these 2 are in some variant of silver, which is almost like a jade silver.
Right, so look at the rear. Now the thing is, right, with the Rapides, and this was a big complaint when they first came out, was that people said, oh, well, what's the point? Because the rear seats are really sort of tight anyway, like adult occupants is not great for them. But I think everyone missed the point with the Rapide. It wasn't supposed to be, the replacement of a luxury barge or an option for that. No, this was Aston's dad car.
Yeah.
Because children of all ages will be happy in the back. And if anything, well, all VH platform Astons, as the driver, it's quite, it's quite tight in there, isn't it? It's quite like a small, it gives you that sort of super GT feel, but then your rear occupants, your children in the back, they get a bit of a super Super GT Special Aston Martin feel as well. That's the way I describe it in the back there. But look, this carbon fibre go through the middle there.
Yeah, it's mega. It definitely, I think as well, if you haven't experienced that generation of like Vantage, Vanquish, and Rapide, you don't realise just how special those Astons are internally. Like they really are. They just feel supercarish, even more so than. I would say they're at a similar level for wow as like a Lamborghini.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah,
they really are.
You don't have it in the Rapide, but in my Dad B9, I had like the fly-off handbrake as well. Like in the same place as for a Murcielago.
Ah, is it? Okay.
Which I loved. But everything in these cars is cloaked in fine quality leather. You know, the carpet's a nice thick pile, and you've got Alcantara everywhere. And in this one, it's just smothered in carbon fibre. It's got your name written all over it, Tom. Yeah. I think you've got to buy a Rapide AMR. I really do think you need to buy one. And
I'm tempted.
And
Very tempted.
The thing is as well, right, is you've got loads of incredible cars, haven't you? Loads of incredible cars. But I think this, at the price point as well, because obviously it's all relative, right? It's all relative. We don't need to get into that too much, but you know, like for me, with my £10,000 Maserati Gran Turismo, like that is of a level to me relatively where I can drive that and not stress too much about it. Obviously, if I park it, you know, I'm taking the kids somewhere and then it's busy because there's loads of other families there and then there's a little parking space I've got to squeeze it into. I don't want to come back and have someone sort of like ding the door. You know, I don't want that to happen. But if it did happen, it's not going to stress me out. Yeah. Because it's, you know, it's relative. Yeah. And I think that's the thing with this car. Like, I just can't believe that they are, you know, available for around that sort of money. Yeah. Where, do you know what I mean? So it'll be a usable thing. It'll be an A to B car for you.
100%. And you know, I think it is, you're right, it's relative to some of this stupid stuff that I've got behind us here. But also it's relative to how expensive cars are in general now. You think we were talking about M3 G80s, and I think the Tourings are like 100 plus grand new, aren't they? Yeah. And the new M3 CS Touring is, I think, like 150,000 pounds. Yeah. When you think about that, it starts to look better. Man maths are really working in our favour here, aren't they?
Absolutely. And I personally cannot see these depreciating. You know, maybe what will happen is if you do use it, because I think that if you do get one of these, use it. You know, if you've got to go and take the kids to a club run or something like that midweek, and even if the weather's not ideal, and then you think, well, I could take the Tesla, or you know what, I'll take the Rapide. Why not? You know, and it just make that sort of mundane thing that you do without even thinking about it. If you're taking the Rapide, it just makes, this is my whole thing, it just makes you a little bit more present in the moment sometimes.
100%.
On the more sort of mundane day-to-day stuff. Going to the supermarket, you know, rather than taking the Model X or the X7, you might think, you know what? I'm going to take the Rapide, and actually I'm going to take one of the kids with me as well, because then I can park in parent and child parking. And there's nothing cooler than an exciting dad car in parent and child parking. Honestly, nothing makes me me buzzing more than if I walk past and go, oh my god, look, there's a 991 C4S, like just parked in parent and child parking. It's got a child seat in the back. This is the coolest thing ever. Like I love seeing that. And whenever I do park my cars in the parent and child parking, I always turn around and look, and it brings me so much happiness. Yeah. And then you don't have to worry about people digging your car and stuff there, do you? So.
You know, funnily enough, funny story, I once parked this in Tesco parent and child car parking. And I had my daughter with me. Yes. Well,
I'm glad you said you had your daughter with you.
Yes. Yeah. In a buckle-in, child seat. Yes. Half the people were very impressed with it, and the other half were very upset with me being there. Tons of other spaces, of course, but people just don't like to see it. Yeah. So we came back out, and somebody had put a note saying, "Where's the bairn?" Bairn is Northern for child. Okay. And I was like, "Here is the child." Yeah. And you could see, a little bit of disappointment in their eyes, like, oh, he hasn't broken the rules, but still, I'm annoyed that he's got that car.
Oh, honestly, if something like that happened to me and I'd filmed it on my phone, put it on Instagram, it'd literally just get crazy amount of views.
This is pre YouTube and Instagram days, but I wish I had recorded it still.
I have had it a number of times. People give me horrible, filthy looks until they see me in the DB9. They see me open the door, and then two children get out of the back of the DB9, and then they're just they're sort of looking away, But honestly, I just think for the money, I think the only depreciation that you will get with that car will be if you use it. And I think that if you do buy one of those, put as many miles on it as possible and be proud of those miles.
Absolutely.
You know, and be like, okay, yeah, cool, it's gone down by 5-10 grand because I've put loads of miles on it. But honestly, the memories that you'll make with that, and it's so usable for you.
Yeah.
That I honestly,
I think you're right, because I think it ticks another box because it's so limited and it's a special V12 super dad car. How can it drop too much more below £100,000 in value?
I don't think it can.
I don't think it can. They're not going to make stuff like that anymore, are they? It's a special. It looks class. The wheels are amazing. I think it's going to tick that little box for me where it's not going to lose me too much money. So I think you are right, and I shall do some inquiring.
Yes, honestly, I think you should do it. And if you get one, put tens and tens and tens of thousands of miles on it. So it's the highest mile Rapide AMR in the world. And then sell it to me really cheap, like in a few years' time. And even if it's got like inside, there's marks all over the Alcantara because the kids have been used in it, all of that sort of stuff. They are all badges of honor.
Exactly.
And also that I can then justify getting it for cheaper because I love all of that stuff anyway. And that's what my kids will do to it anyway. But yeah, honestly, I think it'd be perfect for you. And it's understated enough as well. And everybody loves an Aston in this country. Like everybody loves an Aston. And
especially a V12.
Yeah, and people will let you out at junctions, and honestly, it's mega. And if I was in your position, I would be buying one of those.
Yeah.
Just 2 days later, I got a WhatsApp message from Tom. No words, just a series of pictures showing a beautiful Aston Martin Rapide AMR going onto a trailer and then onto his driveway. And if you would like to find out what Tom thinks of his new Super Dad car, check out this video here over on the Wham Barn YouTube channel.